And it's intercepted. It's intercepted by number 22. That's Clifton. He's got the left edge. Turns on the Jets. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Calaveras. What a play. Up to a running back. That's Ferrante over to the right side. He cuts back up the middle. He's got room. One man to beat. He turns on the Jets. There he goes. Touchdown, Calaveras. What a play.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Football with Coach Val. I'm your host, Gil Valtierra, the voice of Calaveras football. This episode is a special one. It's week 1 of the season and game night. We've been waiting all summer for this day, baby. That's right. Your Calaveras Redhawks hit the road to Merced, California, Castle Air Force Base, where they will kick off at 7 p.m. against Stoneridge Christian. My guest today is none other than head varsity football coach at Calaveras High School, Coach Manny Mossa. Coach, thanks so much for being here. You got to be fired up.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're here. We're here, all summer long, all the talk. Well, now we're here, man. It's Friday night, and I think the Calaveras boys are ready to play. We got a long trip ahead of us, but I think we're up for it.
Yeah, I mean it's I'm fired up. I mean this is what you do it for, right? This is what you work all season, off season long for, is for nights like this. Friday night, August. I mean Friday night football, right? So let's get this thing started. Normally, we're doing these every week now to coincide with the game every Friday. We would first start off with last week results and talk about that. But given that this is week 1, there really wasn't no last week except for there was a scrimmage.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about our guys went down to Central Catholic, no less, perennial powerhouse down in Modesto. Tell us how the scrimmage went with our guys down there.
The scrimmage went, I feel like it went well. Plenty of things to work on, no question. I think every football team has things to work on, but I think our boys played up to the competition. Central Catholic, very good football team, very well coached. It showed us a little something different. They're good.
Right.
Everybody knows that. Anybody that's involved with high school football knows that they're good. Like I said, well coached, and I think not only did we play the competition, I think our guys played up to the competition, and I think they kind of got to see a little bit too. Like, hey, maybe some of the things I've been doing isn't quite good enough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Buhat Colony, same thing. Good football team, a lot of guys, big guys, and we went, we battled. And we figured out some things we got to work on, we got to fix, but ultimately we got out healthy, and I think we're better than we were the day before.
Right. I think that's always a good sign when you go in against some high quality competition, get good quality reps in, and then still walk out of there healthy, ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, scrimmages are always tough. All of us football coaches, we love it. We like to see what we have and how we're going to play, but the scrimmage doesn't mean anything besides seeing how you play and what you need to work on, and you always hope, pray that there's no injuries, during a scrimmage.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, any day, any game really, but
especially a scrimmage. Right. And then it was a scrimmage leading up to starting off the season.
Correct.
So thanks for that, Coach. So the guys look good at the scrimmage against some good quality competition. I do want to mention we did have some results last week. Part of the Calaveras football family is that Calaveras Junior Redhawk program. They played last Saturday at home against Waterford. All 4 programs looked outstanding. They ended up getting 3 of the 4 wins out of those games. The junior novice game, Calaveras beat Waterford 54-12. Some notable players in that game was number 8, Bronson Jenkins, number 20, Jax Watson, and number 88, Gino Varney, all had fantastic games for that junior novice squad. Man. And things are going to look good for them. I mean, 54 points, that's doing pretty good.
Hey, man, that's 7-on-7, right? Waterford didn't quite, can't do an 11-on-11 team.
Right.
And man, those boys were running like crazy, man. A lot of space out there.
Yeah. And then the novice squad, the second game of the day, Calaveras was victorious 38-0. Number 7, Ethan Mossa. Number 2, Gregory Mills Jr. Number 10, Levi Lim. And number 13, Brent Fusen. All had pretty darn good games. And you know a little bit about that game, Coach. You were on the sidelines. Tell us about how that one went.
Yeah, those little guys, man, they work hard, I tell you. Work hard, and we're running our stuff. We're running Calaveras offense, and those guys are really taking on that Calaveras mentality as well, man. They're tough. They don't come off the field. They take their nicks and their bumps, and they don't ask out. They stay in the game, and they played very well. I was pretty proud of them.
Good. I saw a little bit of the film and saw some guys throwing some hits around, and some guys breaking tackles, and I was like, man, for a novice program, these guys are playing.
Yeah, the pads were popping for little guys.
All right, and then the third game of the day was the JV team. They had some problems. They lost the game 25-12 to Waterford. I will say they played them pretty tight, and Waterford had a dynamic quarterback, that number 1, who was hard to stop. He would call his own number and take off running, and they had a hard time stopping him. But nonetheless, had some decent players that had good games. Number 21, Mason Williams. Number 22, Carter Lim. Number 44, Luca Varney. And number 99, Ruben Trio, all contributed some good downs for Calaveras. Any comments on that one? I mean, they came up short, but they played them tough, and that number 1 quarterback was good.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Waterford JV team was a very good football team. JV, we're talking 11, 12-year-olds, 5th and 6th grade. Quarterback could chuck it too.
Yeah,
he was throwing the ball pretty well. They were spreading Calaveras defense out, and playing in space is not easy.
Right.
You got to work at it, but I think that JV team's going to be fine. I think they're going to take this one, take that one on the chin there, and then go back to work, and hopefully they're ready to go tomorrow on Saturday for Tuolumne.
You bet. And then finally, the final game of the night was the varsity team. Calaveras was victorious 38-0 over Waterford. Some notable players in that game: running back number 5, Austin Locke; number 7, David Devich; number 10, Zayden Orlandi; and number 44, Titan Grant. Titan was all over the field defensively, and you got to be a defensive player with a name like Titan, right?
Right. Perfect, man. I love it. He had I think he had a penalty or 2 called on him, and I hate to say it, but it was just because he was dominating the game.
Yeah, he was all over the field, just knocking guys around.
He was finishing the play as you coach, as you love those type of players that finish the play, and I think the game got away from Waterford there. I think Calaveras just dominated it, and it just I think the refs may have wanted to slow that game down a little bit,
right?
But I tell you what, I was intrigued seeing what some of those kids will be up. They'll be up with me next year, and they're tough. They're tough. There's good size, good speed, great toughness. I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do this year.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing the PA announcing for all 4 of those games. It was exciting getting to watch all the parents be excited for their kids out there. 3 out of the 4 wins, so not too shabby. Can't be mad at that. This coming Saturday, there'll be at Tuolumne. Taking them on. So after that trip to Merced, head on over to Tuolumne and go watch those little guys, because they're definitely going to be a force to be dealt with as soon as they get to the high school as well.
Yep.
I do want to mention before we move forward, Coach, I want to say thanks to a couple of our sponsors for KVGC Radio. Our quarter sponsors is coming tonight at the game, all moving forward in the season, and also for the Let's Talk Football with Coach Val podcast, the paving company, MRM Stone, your business coach, and Treats General Store. And so let's hear from one of them. Ready to transform your backyard into an outdoor paradise? Look no further than the Paver Company, specializing in hardscaping, landscaping, outdoor living spaces, turf, decking, and more. They are your one-stop shop for all your yard upgrade needs. As a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years experience, the Paver Company takes pride in their top-notch craftsmanship. Get started today with a free estimate and custom design. Make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. Visit us at thepavercompany.com or call us at 916-222-8844 to schedule your consultation. That's 916-222-8844. Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality with the Paver Company. All right, so Coach, let's talk a little bit about this week at practice. So you got Stoneridge. Obviously, you played them in week 1 last week, came up just short. Obviously, last year, a whole different story. Started off slow the first 4 games. So far this summer, this team looks like a completely different team. How they look at practice this week, and what went on a little bit different this week that you're anticipating heading into Merced tonight to look for a different result?
Yeah, I think, you come out of the Central Catholic scrimmage, there's plenty of things you can find there to work on. And guys worked real hard this week, tried to correct some issues, correct some problems, made some position changes. But I think we're a better team now than we were last year at this time. But I thought we were a good team last year as well when we went into week 1. But they took it to us. Mm-hmm. We made plenty of mistakes. We didn't help ourselves out. But ultimately, you got to give them some credit. They ran the ball right down our throat, which doesn't usually happen against Calaveras football team. And so, I think the guys, they're looking at last year's film. We got a little bit of their scrimmage film, and I think they need to take it personally. And I think this week in practice, they have. We're a better football team than what we showed last year. But again, we have to prove it.
Right.
We got to show up Friday night and we have to go prove it. Words are one thing, and thoughts and how good we think we are, that's all one thing. But proving it on the field and that scoreboard, that's the other.
Yeah, I mean, what's on paper is one thing, but it doesn't mean anything unless you get the job done.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're obviously watching film from last year, watching a little bit of the film from this year, making any adjustments. Do you see anything different from them as far as scheme compared to what you saw last year?
No, I don't think so. You got some different players, maybe a couple of different plays in the scrimmage, but I think ultimately they are who they are. I'm sure they got some surprises for us, but they look like a good football team. In the scrimmage, they got good running backs, got a big offensive line. They can throw the ball. Mm-hmm. Quarterback's got a good arm; they can throw the ball. So our work's cut out for us, no question. We'll see. Yeah.
Given the slow start last year and knowing, I talked to a lot of the players during the summer and at camp. And they feel like, hey, that's not going to happen this year. They don't want it to happen. Mm-hmm. Knowing that, do you look at this week 1 game as, hey, this is a big game because we want to make sure we start off on the right foot?
Yeah, I think every game's a big game. This is the first game of the season, so it may seem bigger than others, but we have to go do what we do. We go to the scrimmage, we get a feeling of what kind of football team we have. And then we go to week 1 thinking, okay, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we run the ball? Can we throw the ball? And, the game's important. I don't know that's any more important than any other game.
Okay.
We want to win. We want a W, in the win-loser column there. But that being said, because of the embarrassing performance we gave last year, mm-hmm. I do believe this is going to be a little bit more personal. I feel like the kids took it more personal, especially the returners from last year. They're definitely taking it a little personally this week in practice. We've been getting after it a little bit in practice this week. So I'm really looking forward to see if that carries over to the game.
Gotcha. Okay. Anything else this week in practice you want to discuss, or before we move on?
No, practices, we try to keep pretty normal. Normal
it's
practices.
usually routine stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And you know me better than most people. I don't like to be out of my routine, that's for sure. But, I think Coach Anderson he's got a great plan up front. I think Coach Clark's got a great plan on the defensive side of the ball. I think offensively, I think we have a plan that it goes well with the players that we have, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I think last year too, the coaches, I take it personally as well. I don't believe I did a good enough job last year, whether that be play calling or whether it be just getting the guys prepared to play who we were playing. Having the right guys in the right positions. I think that was probably, if I was to pick out one thing that I feel I didn't do a very good job last year, is just not having the right guys in the right positions early enough.
Right.
And so I think this year, we got a lot of returners that settled in. They kind of know their spots, and we got a lot of other guys coming in. I think we've done a very good job of assessing them and seeing where they're going to help our football team out the most. Not necessarily where they would like to play, but where they're going to help us out. And we haven't had any pushback. The group of guys we have, I feel a very, very good group of young men, and whatever it takes, they're all in it for the team, for the win. And that right there, I couldn't ask for anything more.
You bet. Do it for the team.
Yep.
So let's move on. Let's talk about a little bit what I just call around the league. Mm-hmm. As the season progresses, we'll obviously at this time go over scores from last week, current standings in the league, where we are now, obviously in week one. Not much to talk about there, but let's talk about where everybody's going to be playing tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, Calaveras is going to be at Stoneridge Christian. Denair is going to be in Modesto playing Big Valley Christian. Bret Hart travels to Golden Sierra. Linden will be at Ripon. I think I mentioned in the Motherlode League preview episode. I think that's going to be a pretty big game. Linden lost that game last year, 49-42, put up 42 points in a loss, and then now they're going to go play them again in week one. Mm-hmm. So that's a notable game. I'd be real interested to see what happens in that game. River Islands will travel to Franklin. Riverbank will go to Western Sierra Collegiate Academy. And then what I feel is another notable game here, Ripon Christian is going to take that drive up to Tuolumne and play Somerville. And what do you think about that Ripon Christian Somerville game?
Yeah, obviously we play Ripon Christian in a couple of weeks. We know what they're about. Coach Graham's a great coach. He's a fly guy as well. Great staff, players, they're coached well, and then, of course, we know Somerville very well, too, from being in our league. And that's a great football team as well. They like to run the ball, got great O-lines. And I'm real curious. That one's – I'm looking at that game.
That's potential playoff kind of caliber game right there. Week one right off the bat.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. And, it's just, those two teams, we are the common opponent. How are we going to fare against Ripon Christian? How are we going to fare, obviously against Somerville?
Right.
Yeah, I'm very, very curious to see how that game goes. I think that's going to be a great game.
Yeah, I think so too. Other notable games, they're no longer in the league, but they're in our area, so we still keep track of what's going on with them. Argonaut, who Calaveras will still play this year, they're going to travel over to Sutter and play Sutter. Mm-hmm. And then Rio Vista is going to head over to Sutter Creek to play the Amador Buffaloes. Yeah. So just throwing that out there for those of you in the area over in Amador County.
Yeah, I think Coach Ekman's got his boys ready to play. They're from what I hear, they're looking pretty good. Sutter's a tough opponent. I think that's a great opening game for him, and then his team to see how they're going to fare this year,
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be looking forward to see the results of that one. Folks, let's hear from one of our other sponsors. Here we go. MRM Stone has over 1,000 natural stone selections, fabrication services, and delivery available. With over 60 years of natural stone sales experience, we stock and sell natural stone thin veneer, flagstone, boulders, pavers, retaining wall block, structural block, cobble, pea gravel, mulch, and the tools necessary to complete your project. Our inside and outside sales staff is eager to help with your landscape or masonry project. Stop on by 2173 Highway 12 in Valley Springs, or go to mrmstone.com or give us a call 209-763-5761. That's 209-763-5761. MRM Stone, your masonry and landscape stone supplier. Treats General Store in San Andreas, California is a proud sponsor of Calaveras football and the Let's Talk Football with Coach Val podcast. Treats General Store has everything you need from groceries, meat, liquors, and hardware. Treats General Store since 1852. All right, so welcome back. So, Coach, obviously a little bit of a trip out to Merced tonight. Wanted to make sure that all the listeners out there know that you can listen in tonight at 7 p.m. on KVGC Radio. The easiest way to listen is to download the KVGC Radio app. Once downloaded, click on the KVGC Oldies button on the bottom right of the screen, and boom, you are in. This is the home of Calaveras football all year long, every single game, every week. Greg Stark and yours truly will bring you all the play-by-play action live. That's the KVGC Radio app. So if you can't make that long trip, download the app on your smart device, your smartphone, your tablet, hook it up to a Bluetooth speaker, turn that baby up and turn the volume up, and be ready for some live action of Calaveras Red Hawk football. Coach, anything else on this coming week? And
no, I think we're ready to go. Only time will tell here, but I think we're ready to go. The guys they had a good week of practice, and I think they're ready to go out there and play some ball. I'm really looking forward to game one, man. This is it. How's the season going to go? You know what I mean? How's it going to look today? I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. So, Coach, tell us a little bit about, if somebody takes that trip down to Merced, what are they going to see out there tonight as far as offensively? Who should they be looking for Calaveras offensively that could be impactful tonight?
That's really what I love about our team. There's no one person that you can really key on. Plenty of ways for us to get different guys, different positions of the ball. Cody Ferrante, he's always ready to go. He's always ready to go, always ready to play. Been seeing some good things out of Caden Spur, Cody Paulson. I like what I've been seeing there. Our Z-backs, we have an array of Z-backs. We have Ryan Clifton, Ethan Ayala, Ethan Smith, Devin Ellis. I mean, we got 4 guys that can go in there and actually run anything we have offensively. And again, we got both quarterbacks. Both can go in there, run the offense. Both can run every play we have in the offense. And really looking forward to seeing what those 2 guys are going to do as well today, because I think they're both ready and they're both hungry to play. So, and again, up front, I think our O-line, they're playing about as together as you could possibly play. A lot of good guys. Most of them been in the system for a few years, and really looking forward to seeing how they're going to do up front. I'm excited. Obviously, being the O coordinator, I'm excited to see what those guys are going to do.
Now, I mean, those no surprise for me, because those are names that I called quite a bit on the radio last year, calling the games. Tell me a little bit about defensively. Who's going to help stop Stoneridge tonight?
Yeah, a lot of the same names, small school stuff. That. We had a couple of guys that were not in our scrimmage. Probably some of our best players. Enrique Hernandez and Ethan Ayala. So looking forward to those guys being back. They're both healthy. They're ready to go. Defensively, I think all of the players just have a different mentality. Cody Paulson, our linebacker, is always in the right spot. And of course, when he gets to the right spot, he doesn't go backwards.
Right.
I think most people know that.
Yeah, he's a load.
Yeah. So very excited to see him play. It's comforting knowing that he is there at the Mike backer. And, we got a lot of stuff in this week defensively, a lot of checks, a lot of different things depending on the formation. And I think our guys are going to be able to handle it, and we'll see, but I think they're going to be able to handle it. And if so, sky's the limit.
Right.
If we can check and make certain checks throughout the season against certain offensive sets, to put our guys in a better spot, and we can do it without, screwing up. I mean, really opens the door for the defense, and Coach Clark has them going, man. He's got them buzzing. That guy.
Oh, yes, I do.
Man, I don't know how much time he's put on film, but
I would guess more than anybody.
Yeah. I mean, there's 11 players on the offensive side of the ball. He's probably watched that particular play 11 times.
At least, if not more.
Yeah.
What about you mentioned earlier, Stoneridge may try to throw the ball around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have in the defensive backfield that may step in front of one of them passes and start creating turnovers?
Yeah. Returners, Ryan Clifton, Cody Ferrante, Ethan Ayala, great cover man.
Clifton had quite a few interceptions last year.
Yes, he did.
He's a ball hawk.
Yep. We're hoping he can lock down one side of the field. That's the plan. And we got some newcomers, like I said, Ethan Smith, Devin Ellis. We got some other guys that can step in and contribute as well.
Great. What about up front, the big guys that are going to stop the run and put some pressure on that quarterback?
We're pretty good size, but we get off the ball and they're fast, and that's really what we're hoping for. We're really hoping those guys can get off the ball and just disrupt what they're trying to do and give the other guys behind them a chance to go make a play. Again, I'm really curious to see how we're going to fare.
Right. What about now? It's funny I bring this up because I've always said special teams is like the redheaded stepchild that always gets forgot about. Yet special teams make some of the biggest impacts in the momentum in a game.
Yeah.
What's going on with the special teams with Calaveras and tonight going into Merced?
Special teams I love this year. We have, where we're sitting at 36 guys on the roster. That's, 36 guys that actually can go play. Not 24 guys and then some guys are just kind of hanging out. Like, everyone's working hard, and which really helps our special teams.
Right.
We're really hoping we can keep guys fresh when we can run some guys down on special teams and make some plays and really looking forward to seeing a lot of those guys on there. And our newcomer kicker, Nathan Cameron, he did very well at the scrimmage. Doesn't get rattled. I'll give him that. He doesn't get rattled. We've thrown a couple of tests on him, make it, we're done, miss it, we're going to run a whole bunch. Really put the pressure on him over the past 3 weeks, and he's handled it every single time.
Nice.
So looking forward to seeing it. It adds a little something, as well as I do. Sometimes, when you don't have that kicking game and you're inside the 30-yard line, 25-yard line, we're going for it. Third down, fourth down. Well, we have an opportunity. We can get 3 points. Especially if we're close and, maybe it's 4th and 10 or 4th and 15 or something. We can kick it. We have the option now. So that's nice. That's a little different.
Yeah, you bet. Well, that all sounds really good. And, Coach, I got to tell you, I'm starting to feel a little, I don't know. I've got this stuff that's just building up inside of me. And I feel like I just need to get it off my chest. Could you indulge me maybe for a couple minutes?
Let it out.
Listen up, Calaveras faithful. I'm talking to the whole student body, teachers, administration, alumni, and members of the community. You've got to get to the football game tonight. You're not going to want to miss a single snap. This team is dynamic, and we're going places this season. Don't be that guy who shows up in week 8 when the team is undefeated talking about you've been watching since the beginning. Liar! Start supporting now, tonight, week 1. You'll thank yourself later. This team is the real deal. No excuses. You gotta work? Call in sick. Don't have a ride? Carpool. Your girl won't let you go? Break up with her. Find you a girl who loves football. Don't have any money? Borrow. It's the American way. You're too old? Take some Geritol. You're too tired? Drink a Red Bull. Just get to the football game tonight. Another message to you players tonight. If you're going to strap on that helmet tonight, boys, you've been working your ass off all summer long. Weight room, sprints. Weight room, sprints. Over and over and over again. And why? Why did you put yourself through this? I'll tell you why. For moments like this. Moments like tonight. Game night. Payday. Time to unleash the beast. Victory is the only currency you will accept for your hard work. Each and every one of you need to accept the challenge to go hard and give everything you have inside of you. Every single play until the game is over. Each and every one of you should go home exhausted and victorious. If you find yourself exhausted and don't think you can go anymore, remember, you're stronger than you think. Dig down deeper. Take a big breath and exhale that weak shit out of your head and go harder the next play. Why? Because you're going to go to work that hard for your teammates, knowing they're going to do the same for you. Where you at, Monzo? Where you at, Clifton? Where you at, Ferrante? Where you at, Spur? Where you at, Paulson? Where you at, Ayala? Where's my big O-line that's ready to go eat with the big dogs tonight? Let's get it done, boys. It's game night, Friday Night Lights, 7 p.m. tonight in Merced. Stoneridge is going down. Calaveras football Redhawks, be there. Whoa. I know I went a little dizzy there, Coach. How long was I out for?
Blacked out a second there.
I don't know what happened.
I love it.
We'll have to go back and see what happened there. I kind of got dizzy, and sorry, folks. I kind of went out there for a few minutes. But I think we're about done for the day. I think everything that needs to be said has been said. I want to thank all of you out there listening. Thanks to Coach Manny Mossa for taking the time to come out and do this, and good luck tonight, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I can't wait to see you there, and hey, man, hopefully we're talking good talk afterwards.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're out there enjoying this podcast, please follow us on Instagram or Facebook at the Let's Talk Football with Coach Val page, and be sure to share that page with all your followers and friends so we can help grow this show. You can now text the show under the send us a text message link in the podcast page you're using. Of course, you could always shoot us an email at gilbertvaltierra@gmail.com. Also found out Apple Podcasts could be reached straight through your browser window, any browser at all. You just put Apple Podcasts in there. It'll bring up the podcast window, put in Let's Talk Football with Coach Val, and boom, you're in to hear all the episodes. Be sure to tune in to the games live every Friday night at 7 p.m., downloading the KVGC radio app and clicking on the oldies button. You could also listen to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Football with Coach Val every Friday morning to get the latest news, scores, and happenings of the Motherlode League and surrounding area of football every week during the football season. Until next time, until next week, we are out.
And it's intercepted. It's intercepted by number 22. That's Clifton. He's got the left edge. Turns on the Jets. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Calaveras. What a play. Up to a running back. That's Ferrante over to the right side. He comes back up the middle. He's got room. One man to beat. He turns on the Jets. There he goes. Touchdown, Calaveras. What a play.